Good morning, everyone. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm bringing you today's strength and mobility class. A little bit more mobility than usual, but I do recommend having two weights. I want to make sure you can totally see me. Well, I imagine you can. I'm going to pull the camera back. There, the ground's not totally stable. A hinty hint. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's just start with a nice little lateral side to side step tap. And if you want, you can give yourself a couple shoulder rolls right here. Start to come into your breath. Take some big, deep inhales in through your nose. And you can also exhale through your nose or through your mouth. Let's change our step just a little bit already. Taking a big step back with your foot behind you. And let's actually start to shift a little weight to the foot that's coming behind you. So we're definitely doing something a little bit different for today's strength and mobility class. Let's add an arm. Same arm that's stepping back. We're going to inhale that up and overhead. And if I'm moving a little fast for your balance at this time of day, then please move a little bit slower. It is supposed to rain this morning, unfortunately. So I took a delightful walk on the beach. And then here we are inside, just in case. How awesome. Okay, let's stop those. Go ahead, plant your feet. We're going to drive one knee up at a time. Draw that lower belly in. Exhale to find your knee drive. Start to really relax your shoulders away from your ears. You can still have this amazingly proud lift of your chest. And let's go ahead and change this movement. So we're going to get a little inner sole slap or reach towards it. I'm super tight. Open your feet a little bit wider. Might help with that range of motion. You don't have to go too quickly. Let's get 4 more each side. 4, 3. Then we're going to come back to those knee drives. 2. It's totally okay if you're not slapping your foot. Last one, back to those knee drives. And just a couple more of these knee drives, and then we're going to change the motion again. We're going to get a big kick behind us, like we're shutting the barn door. Let's get it started. So kicking your foot back, so you're still pressing through the heels, starting to find a little engagement of your glutes. We've got 4 more on each side. And then those same inner sole slaps that we did to the front, we're going to bring them to the back. Are you ready? They're coming up right now. So bend in the knee, work to kick your heel, taking a little bit of a reach, maybe feeling that stretch big time on the sides of your body. We're just warming up. 4 more each side. 3, 2, make sure you're not holding your breath. Last one, and back to your march. All right, so we've got some moves coming up today that you might not be used to, that might take a lot of brain and balance. Make sure you're still breathing. Keep checking in on yourself. If we're not enjoying those really long, slow, deep breaths, it's a little bit more challenging to get as much as you can out of the stretch. All right, plant your feet, give yourself a couple of hip circles. Such a fantastic move right here. That is pretty underrated. Highly encourage you, after you've been sitting for a long time, get up from your desk, give yourself some big or some small circles, especially if the door is closed. Nobody has to know. Let's get one more time in each direction. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. Change directions last time. Oop, something popped in a good way. Awesome. Okay, first set of movements. We're also going to use a wall. We've got 4 moves in each of our sets today, and we're starting off with shoulder shrugs. So the wall doesn't come into play right away. Before your shoulder shrugs, we're going to intentionally plant our feet, start rounding from the feet up. So even a little external rotation might happen from your hips, which is going to help tuck your glutes under. Lift your chest proudly. We're going to inhale up, squeeze back, and exhale down for 45 seconds in 3, 2, let's do it. Awesome. Every move happening today. We're going to get to it twice. We're going to move through the circuit. If you want a little bit more break time, you take a little bit more break time. And if you don't want a little bit more break time, then you just keep moving through the break. It's wonderful. Make sure you're still breathing now. Keep that lower belly pulled in, like your body is a straw and you are sucking up water, starting from your feet. Big breaths, just warming up the shoulders, the upper back. Maybe you feel it a lot in your chest. Just a couple more seconds, and then we're going to get some wall angels. Awesome. You can bend your knees, carefully place your weight down. Find great. A surface that you can stand against. Well, inhale your arms all the way up overhead, standing really close to the wall, like glutes are touching this window. We're just going to exhale, practice your arms down. Keep your back against the wall right here. This is a wonderful move to really help with your posture. So we're not getting the back bend that we might get in another class. But I want you to still, as those elbows draw down, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other, towards the back wall. Really press everything against the back wall. This is a window and it's not my house. I'm trying to be polite to the cleaning people. But presumably if you're at home, you're your own cleaning person. You're worth it. You can always wipe this wall down later. All right, relax your arms down by your side. If you want, you can grab a weight for this next one. We're going for those side body crunches. If you really have trouble with gravity, you can even come down to your knees, and I'm going to do that for round one just to make sure you can see. Let's inhale our arms up, ground either through your feet or your knees, and on your exhale, find a really big reach to the side. Don't just reach to the side, push your hips intentionally. Having your legs together makes this one easier, I believe, but if you prefer to try it with your feet separate, you are welcome to. We're going to just one side this time. Shoulders are away from your ears. Biceps are by your ears for a little bit of bracing. You're inhaling to find your stretch. You can even stay here for a full cycle of breath. Exhale to find your push, and then inhale to lift up. Finding that big push on your exhale. Inhale, focus on the reach. Awesome. We're going to switch to the other side in 15 seconds. You can do this same move without weights, just holding your hands together, maybe holding onto your palm and working to find that big reach, and then using your breath. Awesome. So here we go. Begin. Squeeze your glutes, press down through your knees or the soles of your feet and reach to the side. Trying now to collapse down towards the floor or open too much towards the ceiling in as straight of a line as you possibly can, creating as continuous of like a banana look all the way from your hands, palms to your shoulders, to your hips, to your knees. I know you might not be able to get your hips as far over to the side as I'm making happen right now, but with time, I tell you what, you can really press down through your knees, squeeze your glutes, still finding that external rotation from the hips themselves. We got a couple more seconds. Awesome. Relax your arms down. Coming back to move number one, those shoulder shrugs. Go ahead, firmly plant your feet. You can stay or come to your knees if you haven't been there, if you need it. You can do this one from a chair. Here we go. So up, back, down, and you're breathing. Getting some great decompression of the shoulders right here to begin with, focusing on bringing them down as much as possible. And you can already think about like what's happening with your lower body. So while we're firmly planting the feet to the floor, that does not mean locking your knees out, especially while we're doing strength training. You should have a gentle bend to your knee. Ooh, my upper back is tight and tired. I don't know about you. There is a lot of crunching and cracking. Carefully place these weights down on the floor. find the wall, and let's get wall angels one more time. So standing close to that wall, we're going to inhale those arms all the way up overhead, back of the fingers to the wall, and then exhale, inhale back up towards the side. While you're down here, really work to engage your back, so squeeze your shoulder blades together. Awesome. We are almost there. We've got the side crunches to each side, and then we are going to move on to a whole new set of moves. Yay, relax your arms down by your side. You can pick up weights if you want. I'm going to get this next set of our overhead side reach with just a reach. Also so amazing. Inhale your arms up overhead, grab hold of your weight if you're using one, and then exhale, start your stretch. So even if you stay here the whole time and you really work on finding some depth and finding some breath while you're here, anyone can come into a half moon shape. But can you keep breathing? Can you be a really breathy banana? And if you've come down and you're holding it, think towards right shoulder coming forward and left hip coming forward as we're reaching to the right. Inhale, find your reach. Exhale, find your push. Use your hips. We've got about 10 seconds left. Slow, deep breaths, whether you're continuously moving or holding your stretch. Inhale, find your left. You can relax your arms down. We got one more side. Inhale your arms back up, set yourself up, pull into your feet. Let's do this. If you're finding just that banana stretch, squeezing your glutes, hips forward, upper body back, chest lifted, shoulders away from ears. Inhale, find your reach, and exhale, push your hips and find the stretch. If you're with me and we're reaching towards the left with our hands, find some extra heaviness of the right side foot towards the floor. Even if you're not with me and holding the stretch, as you reach over to the left, find that extra intentional push down through your right side, a little bit more engagement and grounding. Keep breathing. Left shoulder forward, right hip forward. Squeeze your hands, palms, and push and stretch and push. We got 3 seconds left. Keep breathing. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Yes. Yes, I did forget to bring water out here with me again. Let's take a quick break, grab a sip of water. We got a couple more standing moves, and then we're going to get down onto our mats or the floor. I just realized how delightfully annoying this timer is for everyone except for us. Cheers. Here's to exercise. Okay. Next set of moves is going to start with us just enjoying a forward fold. So round one, let's take some movement in the forward fold in round one. And in subsequent rounds, we're just going to hold that forward fold and get a really good hamstring stretch. Awesome. So eventually we're going to walk forwards and backwards, face whatever direction you would like for now. Go ahead, plant your feet. We're going to get started. I'm going to guide you through it in 3, 2, 1. Standing proud and tall. Plant your feet down on the floor, shoulders away from your ears. Turn your hands palms forward. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, pull your belly in and rain or swan dive down towards the floor. Inhale into a nice big half lift. Exhale down to your forward fold. Plant your feet, bend your knees, slowly root to rise. Let's do that one more time. Shoulders away from your ears, fingers stretched down, hands palms forward, glutes squeeze, hips forward. Inhale, arms up overhead. Pull your belly in, protect your back. Your knees can bend as much as you want. Can you even come down with a flat back? Fingers come down towards the floor. Inhale, flat back. Exhale down to your forward fold. Awesome. From here, keep your feet planted firmly on the floor and then just bend one knee and then the other and get some movement from your hips. Next up, we're coming into an inchworm. It starts in 3, 2, let's do it. So walk your hands forward. Once your hands get to the top of the mat, shift your shoulders forward into your plank. You can bend your knees as generously as you want as you walk yourself back, round through your feet. Inhale, stretch all the way up. Yay, starting to put moves together. Exhale. No, sorry. Stretch all the way up. Draw your belly in. Awesome. Yes, you can exhale as you forward fold. I got a little confused about which direction I was giving, and we're just going to keep with these inchworms for right now. You don't have to stand all the way up. If you don't want to, you can always just walk forwards and backwards. Awesome. Go ahead, bring your knees down to the floor. Enjoy some tabletop if you want to. Thought my shirt was tucked in, but oops. All right, next up, we've got some practice for world's greatest stretch. So join me. You can come onto your knees. We're just going to bring one foot forward and then bring it back down. And then bring the other foot forward and bring it back down. There's a long area, presumably. And if you need to, you can even hold your hand onto it as you're just working to get a little bit of mobility into your hips. Awesome. We're going to make this move more challenging next time, next round, or you can stick with doing the same thing that we're doing right now. Keep that in mind. Let's bring hands, palms back down to the floor. Another opportunity for cat-cow, building off of that stepping forward. Now we're going to step forward with our hands, palms down on the floor. You can either keep your knee down on the floor and step your hand forward, or you can step that back leg back into a plank. Let's get started and bring one foot forward and then the other. So option to be here with me in a plank, working to bring that foot forward. And I know when I first got started, I needed to tap my foot all the way forward. So if that's you, that's okay. You can even have that back knee still down on the floor, maybe a little further away, working to tap your foot forward. We got about 10 seconds left, and then we're going to come back into just a forward fold, holding the forward fold, or you can find that standing up each time like we did when we got started. Awesome. Walk your hands back to your feet. Bring them together. When your hands come back to your feet, bring a generous bend to your knees, belly touching on your thighs. Inhale into a half lift, length through your spine, flat back, and then exhale, forward fold, but belly still on your thighs. So you might have a super generous bend in your knees to relax your fingers towards the floor. If they don't touch, grab hold of your elbows with your belly still touching on your thighs. Belly on thighs. Maybe shift a little more weight towards your toes and lift your hips up even higher. Relax your head and your hairline down towards the floor. Engage a little bit of your lats, just like we did in those shrugs in the beginning. So shoulders are away from your ears, hairline coming down towards the floor. Awesome. Fingers back down towards the mat or your thighs. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale down to your forward fold. Bend one knee and then the other. And let's come into our inchworm coming up next. You ready? Go for it. Walk yourself all the way forward. Shift your shoulders forward. Walk yourself all the way back. You can stay low and walk yourself forward or round, little close to the window, roots rise. Belly's just drawn in for that forward fold. Up to you how long you're in the plank. Maybe you're really enjoying the stretch. Maybe you're really getting more from the strength. It is your workout and you're here to do what works for you. As you walk forward to that plank, hips in line with or just below shoulders, but try not to let your hips sack down towards the floor. Think about externally rotating your shoulders and your hips. Awesome. Knees come back down towards the mat. We can stand ourselves up because we're going to stand ourselves up this next round, or you're just bringing that one foot forward. Remember, you got your options. Otherwise, foot's going to come forward. Stand yourself up. Knees going to come back down. Let's begin. I advocate keeping your toes tucked under as opposed to bringing the top of your foot all the way down to your mat, in which case you're then going to have to tuck your toes under again. But if you do not have the dexterity under your feet to keep your foot tucked under, then you just need to add that extra step, and you add that extra step. Move as fast or as slow as you need to. Perhaps you even need to roll your mat up a little bit. A little extra cushion under your knees. We're only doing this one round, but we are going to add a little standing or a little bit more lift. Take a break. Hands palms to the floor. Untuck your toes. A little bit more is going to happen now also for world's greatest stretch. Great. So if you can step back into plank, the left leg's going to step forward. Inhale, lift yourself up, a little like warrior something. I don't know. Hand comes down, foot goes down. You can even keep that back knee on the floor. Lift yourself up for a little modified version of this. So let's go ahead. We're started. Maybe you even step your foot forward, then lift your knee up. Inhale, lift yourself. Exhale, hands come down, knee comes down, foot goes back. Foot comes forward, toes tuck, knee lifts. Great way to just work towards making it one smooth motion from that plank. Ooh, that felt so good. Yay! Bring those knees back down to the floor. Hands, palms on the floor. Spread your fingers really nice and wide like a starfish under your chest and shoulders. Hips stacked on top of knees. Give yourself some cat cows. Oh, that's so loud. Oh, what time is it even, family? Okay, it's 8 o'clock. I feel less bad. Could have been worse. I've been up since 6. Okay. Our next move is going to be push-ups. Now, if you've joined me before, you know that I'm terrible at them, and that's okay. And for me to feel engaged in my push-up, I need to do them from tabletop. If you want to or can do a more intense push-up, then please do. I have no shame in the fact that my upper body strength is okay. I mean, I tore the labrum off of my shoulder. I had sort of a reconstructive surgery there. I got a lot of flexibility. We got what we got. All right. You get what you get and you don't get upset. Let's get those push-ups going in 3, 2, 1. Pretty much almost everything else here on the floor in this round. Oh no, I put that kneeling get up in twice. Well, yay. All right. We got some time to think about an additional move we might do. Now, we're going to keep it in. I think it's a win. I'll chalk that up to a vacation brain. Awesome. We got 10 more seconds of this push-up. And then we have another like push-up centric move, but it's really a lot more of a stretch. Okay. So from tabletop, open your knees nice and wide. You're going to send your glutes back towards your heels. You can walk your hands all the way forward. We're going to take some child's pose, and the action for the next move starts here from this child's pose. So with your knees really wide and your hands palms forward, awesome. We're going to pull ourselves forward. You can keep your legs kind of in a diamond shape. It doesn't matter if they open also. Or a little kind of like modified up dog cobra, and then send yourself all the way back to your child's pose. That is the move. So you're releasing like your hips, your pelvic mound towards the floor. It's so safely tucked in. Modesty. Awesome. And you're also kind of getting like a little fun feel, almost seeing if you can touch your toes towards the back of your head. Like a frog seal. Ah, so much fun. 2, One. Awesome. Back to your tabletop. You know what? Instead of the kneeling get up this round, let's just go ahead and sit on our glutes. We're going to take a little butterfly. So soles of the feet come towards each other. We're right here. Interlace your fingers. Bring them outside of your pinky toes. You can keep your chest really nice and lifted right here, getting a nice stretch in your chest and your low back while you're trying to press the outsides of your thighs towards the floor. If your hips are really open though, maybe you hinge forward. Elbows can even press into your inner calves. Maybe you even take some rounding to your back, or even from up high, you can find some rounding in your back, chin towards your chest, stretch out your upper back. We have 8 seconds left right here. 3, 2, lift yourself up. Awesome. Hands come behind you. Open your feet really nice and wide. For this next one, we're just going to drop our knees from side to side, bringing the inner part of your knee and calf towards the floor, and then to the other side. You can even begin. You can definitely begin. You don't have to have both hands on the floor. Maybe one hand is even lifting up off the floor. I like to really shift my weight forward in this one and not have either hands on the floor and just work to find this rotation. And it's like, you're probably going to move a little while it's happening. I definitely recognize I'm getting closer. Hi. I also see that my hair is super crazy. We've got, less than 10 seconds to go. Just scooch my way closer. Great. Starting from the top, we've got push-ups coming up next. Any kind of push-up that you want to do. Remember, you can even come to standing for your push-up. But it starts in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Excuse me, hair. Okay. Oh, you're not giving me space. So whatever variety of push-up you are doing, your back is staying in a nice line. Ideally even, your chest is going to be the first thing that touches the floor. If you find that your glutes are coming to touch the floor, don't you worry. We got that one coming up next. So let's actually find the push-up right here. Even if it's just a little baby push-up, barely going up and down. Work towards bringing yourself down in a straight line. Awesome. Now open your knees really nice and wide. You're going to send your glutes all the way back towards your heels, and then we're going to pull ourselves all the way forward. You can even look up to the ceiling and get a nice stretch in your neck. 3, 2, let's do it. Here we go. Hands, palms planted on the floor, shoulders away from your ears. Your chest is pulling forward. So you're almost getting like a little cat cow. So here we're getting like that cat, a little rounding in the back perhaps. And here you're getting your cow, pull your chest forward, finding that stretching your throat. Because where your eyes go, your body's going to follow. We got just a couple more seconds here. We'll get a nice additional little hip opener before we get the kneeling, not kneeling, the knee to knee move. Ooh, yeah, that feels so good. Awesome. So sit down on your glutes. Let's take a quick little stump. One leg can be forward, the opposite heel, draw it close in towards your chest. Oh my God, there's a lot of sand in my pants. Okay. You can use your elbow crook or your hand palm to pull that towards your chest. And then that same pull forward of that cow that we found at the top of the mat just now is happening with your upper back. Shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Take one more big inhale. And then let's switch. Opposite heel coming in, drawing it in, either using your elbow crook or your hand palm. Shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Both glutes down on the floor. Great. And release. Okay, we're coming on back to these knees side to side. You can just do these knees side to side. You could add in the additional challenge of once they've dropped down, try to press yourself up and then rotate and try to press yourself up without using your hands. Yay. And this is the move that I was like really thinking we needed to work on today. You know? There's just times where you're on the ground and you need to get up and there's stuff in your hands. Maybe it's little people. Maybe it's beverages or snacks or pets. Can't really think of that many other things that you might not necessarily want to put down, but maybe you can. Tell me about them in the comments. And if you don't want to find this press up, you can look, I'm even shifting my feet a little bit so that I don't scooch myself all the way off of the camera today. Awesome. All right. You're going to need a little bit of space for your arms for our very last rounds of exercises. So I'm just going to adjust my mat situation so that I can extend my arms side to side and you can still see me. Perfect. Hello. Welcome to the screens and patio in my dad's car. All right. We're going to start laying down on the side. I'm laying down on my right side, but we're going to get both sides. We're going to do everything opposite the next time around. All right. So laying down on your side with your hips stacked, with your shoulders stacked. Feels a little uncomfortable right now. I'm not going to lie, but it's going to feel a little bit more comfortable. You can have your knees bent. Maybe you even like place a block or a pillow between your legs. You don't have one, but it's an option for you. Okay, and then we're just going to open our arms like a book, and then we're going to close our arms. That's it. You ready? 3, 2, here we go. So laying on your side, open your arms. Shoulder comes towards the mat. Back of the fingers come to the mat. And exhale, close your arms. If you want to hang out there for a little bit longer, you hang out there for a little bit longer. Otherwise, in general, we're inhaling, arms open. And I'm trying to take the full length of my breath. That whole inhale, drawing the arm open. The whole exhale, drawing the arm closed. And we made it. Go ahead and roll over onto your back. Firmly plant the soles of the feet on the mat, arms down by your side, palms facing down towards the floor. Let's take a nice stretch into our hips with a little bit of a glute bridge. Here we go. So just driving those hips up, a little squeeze, even thought towards inner thighs, squeezing in towards each other, making sure knees aren't going out wide. So hips are in line with knees. Heels are also underneath of your knees. Big old squeeze. Energetically stretch your fingers down towards your heels like you're going to touch them. You might have that little throat choking sensation right here. You press a little through the big toe mound onto the floor and find a little engagement even through your pinky toe mound. Keep squeezing your glutes and one more inhale. Exhale, lower down. Next up are knee drops, side to side. So extend your arms nice and wide. Draw your knees up towards your chest. We're just going to rotate from one side back up to the center. Your palms can be facing up or down. We're moving though. Just finding this intentional drop side to side. Thank goodness this is the last class I need to record for this week with the timer because I just cannot imagine everyone's reaction when I go back inside and I've had this beeping almost every 8 minutes. Oh no, Jessica. I also just realized, take a break. Um, we're gonna do the other side this time of opening and closing like a book. I also just realized there's a fan on the ceiling, which would have been so wonderful to have on during this class. Things are getting a little sticky in here. All right, we're opening all the way, a whole new side of the body. So if you also felt like, oh no, that didn't feel as good, totally normal. And can your eye gaze also follow your hand? And if you need to hold for an extra second in the stretch, you hold for an extra second. This feels fantastic. All right, let's stay over here on the left side. We're going to basically do a similar motion. This time, instead of arms opening like a book, we're going to make a rainbow up overhead and get that other shoulder back down on the floor. And then rainbow overhead again. Maybe your fingers can actually drag on the floor, or maybe they're just energetically dragging closer towards the floor. So you're just inhaling your arm up overhead and then back down, like we're going from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock and 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Yay, roll over onto your back. Let's get that glute bridge again. You can either stick with that glute bridge or you can make things a little bit more intense. Sitting up on your glutes, bending your knees, hands palms on the floor. I like my fingers to be pointing up. Yours can be whatever direction you want. And we're just going to find another bridge. You can even check around a little, see how it feels, a little external rotation of the shoulders. And you can look towards your knees or find that extra stretch in your neck also. Just like that other glute bridge though, don't let your knees go out too wide. So a gentle little squeeze towards your inner thighs. Keep driving those hips up. Keep your breath or decrease the stretch. We have 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, lower down. Awesome. Glutes come to the floor. Lower back comes down to the mat if it wasn't there. Draw your knees up to your chest. Extend your arms nice and wide. We've got those knee drops side to side. Here we go. Just trying to work with control here also. Really use that breath, that exhale for the most challenging part. Just keeping your breath also is like so much of what's important here. So slow, steady breath. The longer you make your exhale also, the more relaxed your nervous system is going to feel. Even if you are in a stressed situation, if you can take control of your breath, drop your knees over to the right, then everything's going to be better. As much as it's so annoying when someone says, just take a couple deep breaths. Like it's true. Okay, let's find those rainbows up overhead. Here we go. Why don't you try taking a couple deep breaths before you respond? And other things that people should like never say. But like, if we know they're true, maybe we'll think towards doing them on our own. But like, holy guacamole. Guacamole. But not holy guacamole. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like those packaged guacamoles. They taste so weird to me. Yay! Take a moment, just relax here on your side in the recovery position. We have made it through all of the exercises today. We have a couple minutes left for some fantastic stretching. Okay, go ahead, press yourself back into your tabletop. Let's get a couple nice stretches from here in tabletop. Hands palms down on the floor, starting with some cat cows, tucking your chin to your chest, rounding up your back, just moving at your own pace. Hopefully that gave you time to get at least one. Find your neutral tabletop. Let's go ahead, extend your right leg out nice and long. Push the ball, the foot down towards the floor. Turn your hip down towards the floor, so make sure you're not rotated out towards the side, like two hips in one line, two glutes in one line. Push the base of your hands, palms into the floor. Press your thumb and your pointer finger flat back, lower belly in. Inhale, draw your knee towards your nose. Exhale, just press through your heel, foot lifted. Inhale, draw that knee in. A little rounding through the back. Exhale, press through your heel. One more time. Inhale, draw that knee in. Exhale, press through the heel. Inhale, lift that leg up higher and then cross your right leg over the left side. Look over your left shoulder. Quick little turn and twist. Maybe even roll towards the outer edge more of the right foot. You don't have to have the right big toe ball down on the floor to enjoy the stretch. And then inhale back to center. Lift that right leg up. Bring it in next to your left. Find at least one cat and at least one cow. Maybe you're moving a little faster. I know I like to take it so super slow. Back to your neutral tabletop though. Right leg stays on the floor. Extend that left leg long. Starting bringing the ball of the right foot to the floor, right toe mound, baby pinky toe mound, touching down towards the floor, left hip down to your mat. Draw your lower belly in, shoulders away from your ears, push down through your hands, palms, through the base of the palm, the right finger, the left finger to the floor. Use your breath. Inhale, left knee draws in. Exhale, press through that left heel, toe bound, pointing down towards the floor. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, extend long. One more time. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, extend long. Inhale, left leg high. Almost forgot. Exhale, cross it over the right side. Bring any part of your foot down to the floor, maybe just that baby pinky toe mound. Look over your right shoulder, shift your hips to the left. Couple breaths right here. Oh my God, feels so good. Turn your head back towards your mat. Inhale that left leg high. Exhale, bring your left knee down next to your right. Tuck your toes under. Inhale your hips all the way up towards the sky. Generous bending your knees if or as you need it. Pedal through your heels in your down dog. Biceps close by your ears. Gentle little bend in your elbow creases. You can shake your head yes. You can shake your head no. You can press all the way up onto the balls of your feet. You can exhale and really release your heels closer to the floor. Walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. As you get there, weight comes towards your heels. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale down to your forward fold. Option to shift weight to your toes one last time. One more big hamstring stretch. Weight back towards your heels. Bend your knees. Slowly, gently roll yourself all the way up. Stacking hips over heels, shoulders over hips, head over heart. Roll your shoulders down and back. Stretch your fingers down towards the floor. Turn your hands, palms forward. Inhale your arms up. Let's cactus those arms. Squeeze your glutes. Push your hips forward. A little standing back bend. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Restack everything. Exhale, arms down by your side. Palms facing in towards your thighs. and release. We did it. Oh my gosh. We did it. 45 minutes of strength and mobility. I hope you're feeling fantastic. I will see you back one more time this week for a little bit of yoga. Have a wonderful time till then. Bye, everybody.